Hello, 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 and welcome back to hopefully another edutaining episode of Create Simple Meals. I hope y'all missed me because I definitely miss being here with you all. So today we're going to do a creamy tomato soup. Now, originally I had planned to do these pocket tacos, but after being off for over 6 weeks, I'm like, that might be a little too complicated for my comfort level right now. So I said, let me do something else. So I'm sitting here and I'm designing this tomato soup recipe. And then right before we went live, I found out I'd already done a damn tomato soup recipe back in November. So this is a little twist on it. But just to show you what we're doing today, we're going to do a tomato soup. We got a little bit of diced yellow onions, some butter, some garlic cloves, some diced tomatoes, a little bit of chicken broth, some crushed red peppers, oregano, some dried basil, black pepper, some sugar. You can put as much as you want to taste, and some heavy cream. And because I like to do things a little bit different, I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese to mine. And we also going to do some grilled mozzarella, tomato, and basil sandwiches on rye bread just because, well, hell, we've already done this show once before, so we might as well put a remix to it. So if you go to the website, it will say creamy tomato soup #2. As always, folks, please thank our sponsors. We have the Self-Employed Tax Guy. We have Self-Lodge Planning for all your travel needs. For all your T-shirts and creative ideas, please hit up For You by Me Creative Designs. And for all your T-shirts like the one I'm wearing today, please hit up Petty Phrases. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, I am just a tad bit off my game because, as some of y'all know, I was getting over COVID. And even after I got over it, one of the reasons I did not get back on right away is because I couldn't taste. And unfortunately, it's a little bit too hard to cook if you can't taste the food. As always, while you're waiting for us to get started, please subscribe to that YouTube channel. Tap that notification bell. Please like and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Please tap into us on TikTok. Visit our website, createsimplemeals.com, for all our recipes and videos. Email me at askme@createsimplemeals.com. And if you're on that site, you can hit that chat button. And if I'm not otherwise engaged, I usually respond to you within 5 or 10 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to find this butter, which is in the refrigerator. So we can start sauteing off these onions and garlic. So 6 tablespoons of butter. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, because I just don't like lying to the folks. The recipe says what the recipe says, but I cook the way I cook. So that's actually probably a whole stick of butter because, well, I'm fat and I like fattening food. If you saw the opening show, one of Julia Child's quotes was, "The only time to eat diet food is when you're waiting for the waiting for the steak to kick in." Also, let me know if y'all hear any type of feedback or whatnot. I did try and make sure I went through the settings, but here on Create Simple Meals, something always happens. We profess to be good cooks. We don't profess to be be technological wizards. All right, so let's get this butter melted on down. And after that's melted, we're going to go ahead and add in some garlic and onions. Now, I have received some emails and messages from some of you, and I do appreciate that. Like I said, things are in the queue, but that 6 weeks off just it kind of did some things to me. It's weird because if I can't taste, I can't cook, and then the family is pretty much going to McDonald's and fast food every night. All right, so we got that melted down good enough. Let's go ahead and add in these diced onions. So just about a medium diced onion, whatever to your liking. I like a lot of vegetables blended into my soup. Also, this is a good cheap way. If you got kids that don't like vegetables, you can hide a bunch of vegetables in here. You can actually take some fresh basil and or spinach, because it won't change the taste that much, and grind that up in here and trick your young ones into eating more vegetables. All right. I'll let that come. Check and see if I can see these 192.168.5.192. All right, that's what it's saying. Just not seeing it. All right, now for these, you basically just gonna, I know it's kind of hard to see with that reflection, but you basically just cooking them till they get soft or translucent, because we're gonna, excuse me, we're gonna blend this up afterwards. Now I have an immersion blender, but I'm gonna say this, and I think I put it on the recipe. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can just pour this into a regular stand blender and puree it to the consistency that you like. But I'm gonna tell you right now, these things, they ain't that expensive. I think I got mine for like $15 or so, between $15 and $20 at Pick and Save or Big Lots a while ago. And it definitely helps because you ain't got to go transferring things. All right. See, can I get y'all a little bit closer look up in there? And folks, do me a favor, please. You can either comment in the thread or you can send me a personal message. I'm still looking for your constructive criticism. I was talking to a few people. They sent some things, but it's only a few people. And some folks say I talk too much. Some folks say I don't talk enough. I'm like, look, man, I'm cooking. When I'm cooking, I'm just cooking. But if there is something we can do to make this show a little bit more entertaining versus just edutaining for you, please let us know. Our feelings won't get hurt, and we appreciate y'all feedback. All right, let's go ahead and add in this garlic. I want all my garlic. And if you're just now tuning in, let me go back to that recipe. What we are doing today is a creamy tomato soup #2 for this show. We've already added in some onions and some butter and garlic. We're sauteing off the onions and garlic in some butter. Once we're done with this, we're going to add in some diced tomatoes and keep going from there. But from there, we're going to add in some chicken broth, some red pepper flakes, some oregano, some basil, some black pepper, and some sugar. Now, for the sugar, it's not to make it sweet. It's to balance the acidity off in these tomatoes. So I put a tablespoon. You can go to your own taste. A tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, but I would start with a tablespoon and build up from there. I can tell you right now, one famous celebrity chef, what's her name? Ree Drummond, she puts 3 tablespoons in hers. I'm telling you right now, every time I cook this, it's a little bit different. Well, not this one because I just designed this one, but when I'm adding sugar, it's always different. So I'm going to start off with a tablespoon, and then we'll adjust from there as the case may be. All right, so now we're going to add in just 3 cans of diced tomatoes. Now, I'm going to tell you, because I like flavor, I use the seasoned tomatoes. Even though I'm putting oregano and basil and all that good jazz up in here, I use the seasoned tomatoes because that's just one extra layer of flavor. So, and they have them in pretty much any of the big box grocery stores you find. And I said I might start trying to tell y'all what these recipes cost, but just to give you an idea, the cans of tomatoes, that was $3 right there. An onion, what, 59 cents? Basically, this meal, including the sandwiches, for a family of 4, I think 4, because in this house, so I never know who's going to be home to eat. Basically, under 20 bucks. Seriously. Most meals I cook is literally under 20 bucks. Are we going to bring this up? Now we're going to add in our seasoning. So we're going to add in some red pepper flake, a little oregano, a little bit of basil, a little bit of black pepper. And mix that all up. And then once that gets kind of going, I'm going to go ahead and add in the chicken broth. While I'm doing, let me get this griddle started for these sandwiches. There we go. I done rearranged some stuff back here. I'm hoping this griddle ain't too hot behind me and burn up my hind parts. It won't be the first time something like move this can of aerosol oil before it blow up. Now, once this comes to a boil, I'm gonna give it a taste test so I can who the heck moved my thermometer from back here? And do me a favor and look on that counter and see if you see that orange infrared thermometer. Somebody done moved my thermometer. Again, folks, while you're waiting, please do me a favor. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Hit that notification bell so you know that we're on. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Tap into us on TikTok. For all our videos and recipes, you can visit CreateSimpleMeals.com. You can also send any message to me at AskMe@CreateSimpleMeals.com. And if you're on there, you can hit that chat button and it will notify me. And if I'm not otherwise engaged, I will hit you back in about 5 or 10 minutes or so. As always, this show is brought to you by the Self-Employed Tax Guy. And this is tax season, so y'all might want to hit him up. Self-Lodge Planning, the world is opening back up. So for all your travel needs, hit them up. For all your gift ideas, please hit up For You by Me Creative Designs. And for all your t-shirt ideas, hit up Petty Phrase. If you got something to say it with your chest. God dog it, I'm getting my rhythm back finally. I was talking to some folks earlier. I was like, man, I'm kind of nervous about getting back into the rhythm because I done forgot taglines and everything else. Now we adding in the chicken broth, folks. And let's kick this up all the way. I need this to get to a boil sooner rather than later. And then check my grill back here. And not that one. I was looking for the orange one, the bean one. Unfortunately, my tablet just died, so I'm going to have to rely on others to let me know. I'm going to see can I get on my phone for any comments. Oh, hey, my sister's here. Hey, Sister Barry. Hey, Gina. How's everything? All right. I have to keep going back and forth to the phone. So while this is starting to come to a slight boil, let me give it a taste before I add sugar so I can get an idea of how much sugar I want to add. So we're going to start with about a tablespoon. Now, how do you know that's a tablespoon? Because I put 3 tablespoons in there and that was a third of it. Let's go and do that right there. Huh? Hey, Gene, what's going on? I was wait, Aunt Jean? Hey, Aunt Jean, I'm sorry. I thought that was Gene Phipps. Hey, Aunt Jean. I'm telling you, that's my biggest fan. Every time she get on, I know I'm gonna do okay when Aunt Jean gets on. That means I'm doing okay. Cause at the very least, I'm streaming to Facebook. Taste this again. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all folks, for my purposes, I'm gonna add another tablespoon. Again, your mileage. May vary, but I'm gonna add in a little bit more. We're gonna let that boil, see how this is back here. Now, for these sandwiches, real simple. I use rye bread. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was gonna use what that other one is? Sourdough. But anybody who know me personally know I'm the cheapest man in America. And sourdough was $3.99 for a loaf, and the rye was $1.49. So we using rye. It should be just as good. While that's boiling, let me go and put these on, turn this heat down just a little bit. I did not put the camera over here because, frankly, this is not really part of the show. It's just that you can't really have tomato soup without adding in a sandwich or two. But I will show y'all the finished product. Hey, Mike, young samurai. All right, so we're going to let these grill off. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, because I don't have a dome, and even when I was doing this, I was like, man, this cheese going to be a booger to melt. Slice your mozzarella thinner than what I did mine. I was being lazy, and I bought the already sliced buffalo mozzarella, and it's kind of thick, but don't be like me. Make sure you get thinner cheese. If not, unless you have a dome, you're going to be here all day melting that cheese. Thankfully, I'm out here on this griddle, whom shall remain nameless since they ain't giving me no endorsement. That's it. It could probably use a little bit more salt, but because I'm going to add Parmesan to it, and that has a little bit of salinity involved, I'm not going to add any more to it. Again, if you're just now tuning in, today we are doing creamy tomato soup part 2. So we've already sauteed off some onions and garlic and a little bit of butter. To that, we added in some chicken broth. We seasoned that with some crushed red pepper flakes, a little bit of oregano, dried basil, some black pepper, and I put about 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then we're going to let this simmer off for a while. Again, if you as always, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're on. Please like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Tap into us on TikTok. For all our videos and recipes, please visit CreateSimpleMeals.com. If you have any questions, comments, criticism, you can email me at askme@CreateSimpleMeals.com. And if you want to chat with me, and while you're on that site, go ahead and hit that chat notification on there, and it will notify me almost immediately. Gonna smash these down. You know what I'm gonna invest me in? A sandwich press. I need to ask my cousin, do she got one? Oh, now for these sandwiches, just so y'all know, which is one of the things that I did with the sandwiches. It was just my own little flavor. So the tomatoes I seasoned with a little bit of garlic and a little bit of charbroil seasoning. It's the seasoning my family used, but any type of seasoning on the tomatoes, so it'll give it just a little bit of flavor. Because let's be frank, tomatoes and mozzarella cheese ain't gonna be that flavorful. So I added some seasoning to it while I'm grilling them off on there. I was actually gonna garlic the bread, take some garlic and rub on it, but I was like, I ain't doing all that. Because last time I checked, ain't nobody paying me to do this. All right. First one is always the worst one. I can tell you one thing, it got a pretty char on them. We're going to go and let them keep it doing what they're doing. And this here, we can actually turn down a little bit. So I know I put 10 minutes, but y'all know these induction burners, which I love, cook just a little bit faster. So now, just now tune in for the recipe. We've already sauteed off the onions and the garlic and a little bit of butter, added in some diced tomatoes and some chicken broth, a little bit of crushed red pepper flake, some oregano, basil, black pepper, and a little bit of sugar to balance off that acidity. Now we're going to go ahead and add in our heavy cream. Now, another truthful moment. I'm at the stove, and I'm looking at heavy cream, and I'm always doing unit costs in my head. So I'm looking at one, and the price was one amount, and I'm like, oh, well, this one is cheaper. Get myself home, only to find out, gotta check on these sandwiches, only to find out I didn't get heavy cream. I got half and half, which is half cream, half milk. So it's gonna work, but I want to tell y'all everything, because if I do it, chances are you gonna do it one of these days as well. We can go ahead and turn this off and whisk in, let y'all see a closer shot. And that's just to more or less thicken it up and give it that creamy texture, along with that butter we put in there. Now, if you watch the show I did in November, when I did the other creamy tomato soup, the difference is in that one, I thickened it up with, I used olive oil one, which in this one I didn't, I used butter. And then I also thickened it up with cream cheese. So that's the difference. Now, I don't know why I was thinking about cream cheese back then and why I was thinking about heavy cream today. Well, the cheese melted because that was nice and good. I just don't know. But if you go on that website, you see which recipe you like the best, and you go from there. Now, not part of the recipe. This is part of just what fat people like to do. I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese up in there, because, well, why not? We're going to mix that up in there, and that's going to also get it nice and thick. I think I want some more. Hey, Apple. That's for my Crick Cut gang. It's my high school friend and newfound crafting buddy. Now, y'all know here in Southern California, it's been ungodly cold, and I know y'all in Texas and Alabama and Houston, everywhere else, y'all know we just belly aching for nothing. But I'm going to tell you right now, when it hit 45 degrees in L.A., that's cold. So that's another reason I decided let's go ahead and do a soup, because, well, that'll work. Now, I'm going to tell you something dumb I just did, because, well, I do dumb stuff every now and again. I put the cheese in here, which I meant to do, but what I didn't mean to do is put the cheese in here right now, because I still ain't pureed the dadgum soup. But, oh well. Y'all know from day one, I always told y'all every mistake y'all gonna see. So we gonna see what happens when you puree with cheese in it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go and give y'all a zoom in. Let's see what happens. We're gonna work this together. So it ain't doing too much nothing. It's a little string, and I'm gonna have a hell of a time cleaning this, but it works. So we're gonna go ahead and puree this off. to whatever consistency you want. This thing getting hot back here. Did I turn it off? Yeah, I did. All right. Every time I take out a gadget after Christmas, I think of April, and she's like, "You always buying something." Yeah, unfortunately, I am. I am a gadget freak. Can you do me a favor and grab me a knife? I forgot to bring a butcher's knife out here. We're going to go ahead and fix this up. Again, if you're just now tuning in, today what we did do is a creamy tomato soup part 2. We sauteed off some onions and some garlic and about I use a whole stick of butter, about 6 tablespoons of butter. Added to that 3 cans of diced tomatoes. Add some chicken broth, some crushed red pepper flakes, a little bit of oregano, dried basil, black pepper, and some sugar to balance the acidity. I decided to go with 2 tablespoons. Your mileage can vary. And then we added in some heavy cream. Also, what I did, I ended up adding in some Parmesan cheese because I just felt like adding some Parmesan cheese. Now, this sandwich is not part of the, oh man, that is gooey. It's not part of the recipe, but just for those of you that's watching, those that just go to watch the recipe, they ain't gonna get this. What I did was I took some rye bread, some regular old hothouse tomatoes, sliced them extremely thin, and some basil, seasoned the tomatoes with some garlic and some charbroil seasoning. You know what, I'm gonna see can I do some fancy stuff, because Whitney might look in here and she hates my plating. And I keep telling her I'm not gonna be doing all this plating stuff. And let's see how this goes. So first of all, let's go ahead. Sorry, folks, I got to put y'all back in the shot. Let's go ahead and bowl up some of this soup. Grab this sandwich here. Give me some space. So y'all can see, and grab me a spoon. Let's give it a nice little taste test. I should add some sour cream to this on top. That would have been good. My opinion, the 2 tablespoons was just the right amount. You can still taste the tomatoes, which is what you want to taste, but it's not too acidic. That sugar bounced it off just right. I probably would have added a little bit more oregano because I'm getting the herb, but I kind of want a little punch, so I might go and tweak that recipe. Let's try this sandwich. Now, the sandwich is good. I'm gonna tell you, folks. So when I was doing this, I was like, should I wilt the basil first? I'm glad I didn't. That little slight crunch and that extra and that freshness from leaving the basil whole, to me, is a game changer. As always, folks, please remember to one, subscribe to us on YouTube, hit that notification bell so you know when we're on. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, tap into us on TikTok. If you want to see any old videos or recipes, please visit CreateSimpleMeals.com. Any questions, comments, or criticism, please email me at askme@CreateSimpleMeals.com. If you want to just chat with me, ask me a quick question, please go ahead and hit that chat button on our website, and I will get back to you usually within 5 or 10 minutes. Until next time, folks, remember that when cooking, you must have passion, you must have patience, and you must be willing to practice. Until next time, we'll see you again next week with hopefully another exciting, entertaining meal. Happy cooking, folks.